Amid persistent rumors surrounding the future schooling of their eldest son, Archie Mountbatten-Windsor, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have firmly clarified that he will not be following in his father's footsteps by attending Eton College, the historic all-boys boarding school located in Berkshire, England. Welcome viewers to my channel. Please subscribe, like my video and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. For decades, Eton has been regarded as one of the United Kingdom's most prestigious educational institutions, producing numerous members of the British elite, including prime ministers, aristocrats, and, of course, Prince Harry himself. In recent weeks, various media outlets speculated that the Sussexes were considering sending their 6-year-old son to the same hallowed halls that shaped Harry's own adolescence. However, a spokesperson for the couple issued a definitive statement to E! News on September 22, dispelling these rumors. "I can confirm that Prince Harry has not enrolled Archie at Eton," the representative said. "The Duke has no plans to send his son to Eton." This clarification does more than correct the record. It underscores a deliberate choice by Harry and Meghan to make decisions for their children based on their own values and priorities rather than tradition or expectation. For a family long accustomed to public scrutiny and speculation, the announcement is also a statement of autonomy, reflecting the couple's commitment to charting a path that feels safest and most appropriate for their young family. The decision not to send Archie to Eton cannot be separated from the ongoing concerns that Harry has consistently raised about his family's safety in the United Kingdom. Earlier this year, the Duke formally requested enhanced security protections for his wife and children while in the UK, a request that was ultimately denied. This ruling had a profound effect on Harry's willingness to bring his family back to his homeland. Speaking to the BBC in May, he was candid about his fears and frustrations, stating, "I can't see a world in which I would bring my wife and children back to the UK at this point." Harry elaborated on the reasons behind his hesitancy, noting that the ongoing disagreements and differences with his family, combined with the lack of adequate security measures, had created a situation in which he could not, in good conscience, expose his wife and children to potential danger. "There have been so many disagreements, differences between me and some of my family," he explained. "This current situation that has been ongoing for 5 years with regard to human life and safety is the sticking point. It is the only thing that's left." These comments highlight the depth of Harry's concerns, which go beyond the typical pressures of public life to encompass fundamental issues of protection, privacy, and peace of mind. Despite these challenges, Harry has repeatedly expressed a desire to reconcile with his family. While acknowledging the difficulties and past conflicts, he has also emphasized the importance of moving beyond old disputes and focusing on family unity. "I would love reconciliation with my family," he said. "There's no point continuing to fight anymore, life is precious." These words reveal a man who, despite years of tension and public scrutiny, remains deeply committed to family relationships and recognizes the importance of repairing and maintaining these bonds while he still can. A significant step in this ongoing journey toward reconciliation came recently when Harry reunited with his father, King Charles III. On September 10, the Duke and the monarch shared a private tea at Clarence House in London, marking their first in-person meeting in 19 months. The encounter, though brief, was laden with significance for both father and son. Speaking afterward, Harry reassured the public about his father's health, noting that Charles is doing great amid his ongoing battle with cancer, as reported by Sky News. The meeting also provided Harry with an opportunity to refocus his priorities, particularly in light of his father's health challenges and the limited time they have together. "The focus really has to be on my dad," Harry told The Guardian in an interview published on September 14. "This week has definitely brought that closer." These remarks indicate that Harry's recent efforts at reconciliation are not only about resolving past conflicts but also about supporting his father and strengthening family bonds in the present. They demonstrate a conscious decision to place personal and familial priorities above public expectation or historical precedent. The question of Archie's education is emblematic of the Sussexes' broader approach to parenting and family life. By choosing not to enroll their son at Eton, Harry and Meghan are signaling that their children's upbringing will be guided by their values, safety, and individual needs rather than traditional expectations associated with royal lineage. For the couple, ensuring that Archie and his younger sister, 3-year-old Lilibet, grow up in a secure and nurturing environment takes precedence over prestige or familial legacy. The decision also reflects the couple's desire to shield their children from the intense public scrutiny that often accompanies life within the British royal system, particularly at institutions like Eton, which have historically been associated with elite social networks and extensive media attention. Moreover, the Sussexes' stance on education aligns with their broader efforts to establish independence from the traditional constraints of royal life. Since stepping back as senior working members of the royal family in 2020, Harry and Meghan have consistently emphasized autonomy in decision-making, whether regarding residence, career, or family. Their choices reflect a deliberate balancing act, honoring their heritage and familial connections while simultaneously creating a life that prioritizes safety, privacy, and emotional well-being for themselves and their children. While speculation about Archie's future schooling may continue in the media, the Sussexes' statement provides a clear and unambiguous message: their family's path is theirs to define. For now, Harry and Meghan are focused on providing a stable and loving environment for Archie and Lilibet, nurturing their growth, education, and happiness without the constraints of tradition or external expectation. Their decisions, whether about education, residence, or public engagement, underscore a broader philosophy of intentional, thoughtful parenting, one that places the well-being of their children at the forefront. In conclusion, while Archie Mountbatten Windsor may not walk the halls of Eton College as his father once did, the Sussexes' choices highlight a commitment to family, safety, and personal agency. The couple's approach serves as a powerful reminder that royal lineage, while historically significant, does not dictate the path of individual families, and that even within centuries-old traditions, there is room for modern values, intentional decisions, and protective parenting. By prioritizing these principles, Harry and Meghan are shaping a future for their children that reflects care, foresight, and the desire to nurture them in an environment that supports both their growth and their security. For decades, the name Mountbatten Windsor has been synonymous with tradition, privilege, and a carefully scripted path through life that begins in the royal nursery and often continues through some of the most prestigious institutions in Britain. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, was no exception. Born as the youngest son of Princess Diana and Prince Charles, Harry's early life was a mixture of public fascination, media scrutiny, and personal loss. His formative years were punctuated by experiences that would later shape his outlook on family, tradition, and education. One of the most pivotal chapters in Harry's life was his education at Eton College, a school renowned for producing political leaders, aristocrats, and members of the British elite. Located in Berkshire, England, Eton is as much a symbol of privilege as it is of rigorous academic training. For Harry, it was an environment that offered structure and opportunity but also came with pressures that few outside the walls of the institution could understand. The boarding school experience, with its strict routines, social hierarchies, and constant media attention, left an indelible mark on the young prince. Now, nearly 4 decades later, the question of education has resurfaced in the public eye, but this time it is centered on Harry's own children. Rumors have circulated that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were considering sending their eldest son, Archie Mountbatten Windsor, to Eton, following the same path Harry once walked. The prospect of Archie stepping into the same halls of tradition seemed almost poetic, a continuation of a royal legacy intertwined with privilege and history. Yet, the reality is far more nuanced and deliberate. On September 22, the Sussexes' spokesperson made a statement that dispelled any speculation. "I can confirm that Prince Harry has not enrolled Archie at Eton," the representative said. The Duke has no plans to send his son to Eton. This simple declaration, while concise, carries profound meaning. It signals a conscious departure from tradition, a redefining of what it means to raise children within a family long bound by protocol, expectation, and public scrutiny. For Harry and Meghan, it is not merely a matter of education, it is a reflection of their broader philosophy on family, safety, and personal autonomy. The decision cannot be examined in isolation. To understand why Archie will not follow in his father's footsteps, it is essential to explore the forces that have shaped Harry's approach to parenting. His experiences at Eton, the pressures of growing up under relentless media attention, and his lifelong awareness of safety and privacy concerns all inform the choices he now makes for his children. These factors are intertwined with his wife Meghan's values, her own upbringing, and her vision for a family life that is protective, nurturing, and independent of external expectation. Moreover, the context of the United Kingdom itself plays a critical role. Earlier this year, Harry's formal request for enhanced security measures for his family while in the UK was denied. The ruling was a stark reminder that, despite his royal heritage, the couple does not have absolute control over their environment within Britain. Speaking to the BBC in May, Harry was candid about his concerns. "I can't see a world in which I would bring my wife and children back to the UK at this point." His words reflect not only personal frustration but also a deep sense of responsibility toward his family's safety, a responsibility that outweighs tradition, convenience, or public expectation. Beyond security, Harry has also spoken about the broader family dynamics that influence his decisions. "There have been so many disagreements, differences between me and some of my family," he explained. "This current situation that has been ongoing for 5 years with regard to human life and safety is the sticking point. It is the only thing that's left." His statements underline the complexity of his position. Parenting within a royal context is not only about privilege or opportunity, it is also about navigating legacy, relationships, and deeply personal concerns. Yet, despite the challenges, Harry has consistently expressed a desire for reconciliation. He has emphasized the importance of moving beyond past conflicts for the sake of family unity and emotional well-being. "I would love reconciliation with my family," he said. "There's no point continuing to fight anymore, life is precious." This statement reflects a man caught between duty, tradition, and personal conviction, seeking a balance that honors both his heritage and his commitment to a safer, more intentional family life. The ongoing narrative is also informed by Harry's recent reunion with his father, King Charles III. On September 10, the Duke and the monarch shared a private tea at Clarence House, marking their first in-person meeting in 19 months. The encounter was not only a symbolic gesture of reconciliation but also an opportunity to reassess priorities amid the realities of aging, health, and time. Speaking afterward, Harry reassured the public about his father's health, noting that Charles is doing great amid his ongoing battle with cancer, as reported by Sky News. "The focus really has to be on my dad," Harry said in an interview with The Guardian. "This week has definitely brought that closer." These words reveal a man committed to familial connection and responsibility, even as he continues to navigate personal and institutional challenges. In this context, the decision regarding Archie's education takes on added significance. By choosing not to send him to Eton, Harry and Meghan are asserting agency over a part of their children's lives that is often dictated by historical precedent. They are prioritizing safety, stability, and emotional well-being, and making a conscious choice to raise their children in a manner that reflects both contemporary values and parental responsibility. It is a decision that underscores a broader philosophy that legacy and tradition, while influential, need not dictate the course of a family's future. This chapter of the Sussexes' lives also provides insight into their parenting style and family values. Meghan, in particular, has been a vocal advocate for intentional parenting, emphasizing mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and the creation of safe environments for children. Her influence, combined with Harry's experiences and perspectives, shapes a family approach that diverges sharply from the norms historically associated with the royal household. The choice not to send Archie to Eton is emblematic of this philosophy. It is an act of protection, independence, and careful consideration, designed to provide the children with a balanced upbringing away from pressures that shaped previous generations. In conclusion, the speculation surrounding Archie's education is about far more than a single school or a simple choice. It reflects the intersection of legacy, safety, personal philosophy, and family dynamics in the modern royal context. By confirming that Archie will not follow in his father's footsteps to Eton, the Sussexes are sending a clear message: their family's path will be guided by intention, care, and protection, rather than external expectation or inherited tradition. In doing so, they are redefining what it means to parent within a royal lineage, demonstrating that love, safety, and thoughtful decision-making can coexist with the responsibilities and privileges of heritage. Prince Harry's life has always been lived under extraordinary circumstances. Born Henry Charles Albert David on September 15, 1984, he entered a world of immense public fascination, royal protocol, and media scrutiny. As the younger son of Princess Diana and Prince Charles, Harry's early years were marked by warmth, affection, and a closeness to his mother that would leave an enduring impression. Yet, as any observer of royal life would note, his childhood was also defined by a juxtaposition of privilege and scrutiny, freedom and rigid expectation. By the time Harry reached adolescence, his life had already been shaped by profound experiences. The divorce of his parents, his mother's untimely death, and the constant glare of public attention all contributed to a childhood that, while enviable in material terms, was fraught with emotional complexity. It was into this environment that Eton College entered, becoming a formative chapter in Harry's journey from boyhood into adulthood. Eton College, founded in 1440 by King Henry VI, has long been a symbol of British elite education. The school has produced countless figures of historical significance, including prime ministers, members of the aristocracy, and leaders within the royal family. For Prince Harry, attending Eton meant entering a world steeped in tradition, expectation, and prestige. The boarding school experience required not only academic rigor but also social dexterity, adaptability, and resilience. Students were expected to excel in studies, sports, and social engagements while navigating the unique pressures of living away from home in a highly structured environment. For Harry, Eton represented both opportunity and challenge. On the one hand, the school offered access to exceptional education, an extensive network of peers, and extracurricular opportunities that included sports, drama, and leadership development. On the other hand, the environment was intensely competitive, and the scrutiny placed on him as a royal student added an additional layer of pressure. While his peers faced normal adolescent challenges, Harry also had to contend with photographers, media speculation, and the expectations of a family whose every move was watched. The experiences at Eton were not merely academic, they were formative in shaping Harry's character, his resilience, and his understanding of responsibility. Harry himself has spoken in later interviews about the challenges of growing up under public scrutiny and how these experiences informed his later decisions, both personally and professionally. The lessons learned at Eton, discipline, perseverance, and a sense of duty, would later influence his approach to the military, public service, and even his parenting philosophy. Yet, despite the structure and opportunity Eton offered, Harry also observed the limitations and pressures of the institution. Boarding school life required conformity, adherence to strict rules, and often a suppression of emotional expression, elements that could conflict with the nurturing approach he would later embrace as a father. In particular, Harry became acutely aware of the pressures that young boys face in such elite environments, the need to project strength, to navigate social hierarchies, and to maintain appearances, even when struggling internally. These observations would become central to his later approach to raising Archie and Lilibet, particularly in fostering environments where emotional well-being is prioritized over tradition or prestige. Harry's experiences at Eton were also intertwined with his broader personal development, including his engagement with sports, leadership, and social responsibility. He excelled in polo, rugby, and other athletic pursuits, learning teamwork, perseverance, and the importance of dedication. Simultaneously, he developed an awareness of social issues and the value of using his position for positive impact, a sensibility that would later manifest in the creation of the Invictus Games, a global initiative supporting wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women. The seeds of leadership, empathy, and service were thus planted during these formative years, alongside the challenges of adolescence and public life. Importantly, Eton also exposed Harry to the stark realities of privilege and inequality. Surrounded by peers from some of the wealthiest and most influential families in the country, he gained first-hand experience of how opportunity and access could shape a life trajectory. At the same time, his awareness of his own vulnerabilities, especially as a young man navigating grief, public scrutiny, and personal identity, instilled in him a sensitivity to the pressures that children face, regardless of their social standing. This awareness, tempered by personal experience, would later influence his approach to parenting, instilling in him a desire to create a safe, supportive, and emotionally attentive environment for his own children. Harry's reflections on Eton and his adolescence also highlight the contrast between public expectation and personal choice. While attending the school was a nod to tradition and familial legacy, it was not necessarily a reflection of his individual preferences or desires. This tension between expectation and personal autonomy would become a recurring theme in Harry's life, shaping decisions about career, residence, and family life. His eventual choice to step back as a senior working royal was, in part, an extension of this principle, a commitment to live deliberately, prioritizing personal and familial well-being over institutional expectation. It is within this context that the question of Archie's education gains particular significance. Harry's experiences at Eton, while formative and valuable in many respects, were not universally positive or aligned with the type of upbringing he now envisions for his children. His first-hand understanding of the pressures, limitations, and emotional challenges of elite boarding schools informs his decision to chart a different path for Archie and Lilibet, one that prioritizes safety, well-being, and a nurturing environment over historical precedent. Moreover, Harry's perspective is informed by his broader life experiences outside the school walls. His military service, humanitarian work, and personal struggles have all contributed to a philosophy of parenting that emphasizes protection, emotional support, and deliberate decision-making. For Harry, raising children in environments that nurture curiosity, resilience, and empathy is more important than adhering to tradition or legacy. The decision not to send Archie to Eton reflects this approach, signaling a conscious effort to balance heritage with practical and emotional considerations. In conclusion, Prince Harry's time at Eton College was a defining chapter in his life, one that offered both opportunity and challenge, structure and scrutiny, privilege and personal growth. These experiences, combined with his life journey and values, shape the philosophy he now brings to parenting. By choosing not to send Archie to Eton, Harry and Meghan are not rejecting tradition out of spite. Rather, they are making a deliberate, informed choice to provide their children with an upbringing that prioritizes safety, well-being, and emotional health. The lessons of Harry's past, both positive and challenging, serve as a guide in crafting a family environment that is supportive, intentional, and reflective of modern values, an environment where legacy and autonomy coexist, and where the pressures of history are balanced with the needs of the next generation. Meghan Markle's journey to becoming the Duchess of Sussex is one defined by ambition, resilience, and an unwavering sense of self. Born Rachel Meghan Markle on August 4, 1981, in Los Angeles, California, Meghan grew up in a world far removed from the traditions and formalities of the British royal family. Her childhood, shaped by a multicultural household and the diverse environment of Southern California, instilled in her values that continued to inform her approach to life, work, and parenthood. Raised by a mother who worked as a social worker and a father involved in lighting design, Meghan learned early on the importance of empathy, independence, and creative thinking. Her parents' separation, which occurred when she was young, introduced her to resilience and adaptability, qualities that would become crucial as she navigated both personal and professional challenges. Meghan's upbringing emphasized self-reliance, emotional intelligence, and the importance of forging one's own path, lessons that she carries into her role as a wife and mother. Before entering the royal sphere, Meghan built a career as an actress, most notably starring in the legal drama Suits. Her time in the entertainment industry not only honed her communication skills and public poise but also exposed her to intense scrutiny, media attention, and the challenges of being in the public eye. She developed a sophisticated understanding of media dynamics, personal branding, and public perception, skills that would later become essential as a member of the royal family and as a figure navigating the intersection of celebrity and monarchy. Meghan's professional experiences also cultivated a strong sense of independence and purpose. She engaged in humanitarian work long before her marriage, advocating for gender equality, education, and social justice. Her activism reflects a commitment to leveraging her platform for meaningful impact, and this ethos continues to shape her family decisions. For Meghan, parenting is inseparable from her broader values, providing children with a secure, nurturing environment while fostering empathy, curiosity, and an awareness of the world around them. The decision not to send Archie to Eton, for example, is deeply aligned with Meghan's philosophy. Unlike the British royal tradition, which often emphasizes elite schooling and adherence to long-standing protocols, Meghan's vision for her children's education centers on choice, emotional well-being, and individuality. She has consistently advocated for approaches to parenting that prioritize open communication, supportive environments, and resilience building, reflecting the lessons she learned from her own upbringing and early career challenges. Meghan's partnership with Harry in raising their children is characterized by collaboration, shared responsibility, and deliberate planning. Together, they make decisions that reflect both parents' experiences, values, and concerns. Safety is paramount, particularly in light of Harry's long-standing apprehensions about the UK media and security measures. Equally, emotional development, personal autonomy, and exposure to diverse experiences inform how they structure their children's upbringing. Archie and Lilibet are being raised in an environment that prioritizes both protection and opportunity, a space where their identities and needs come before tradition or expectation. The couple's approach to parenting also reflects a modern understanding of mental health and emotional intelligence. Harry's experiences at Eton, combined with Meghan's upbringing and advocacy work, inform a parenting style that actively nurtures self-awareness, emotional regulation, and resilience. Unlike the rigid structures of historical royal education, the Sussexes emphasize balance, empathy, and intentional growth. This approach is designed to equip their children not only with knowledge but with the tools to navigate complex social environments while maintaining well-being and authenticity. Meghan's influence is particularly evident in the way the Sussexes address issues of identity and representation. As a biracial woman marrying into one of the most historically traditional royal families in the world, Meghan has first-hand experience navigating cultural expectations, systemic bias, and public scrutiny. These experiences inform her parenting decisions, guiding how she and Harry introduce Archie and Lilibet to their heritage, their community, and the broader world. Education, therefore, is not just about academics, it is about instilling values, identity, and awareness, ensuring their children grow up with confidence, understanding, and empathy. Furthermore, Meghan's advocacy for privacy and intentional living has shaped the family's approach to public exposure. The couple has been deliberate about controlling the narrative around their children, limiting media exposure and establishing clear boundaries. Decisions such as not sending Archie to Eton are consistent with this philosophy, prioritizing the children's safety and well-being over tradition or public expectation. By creating a controlled, thoughtful environment, the Sussexes aim to allow their children to grow without the intense pressures that accompany royal life in the UK. In addition to education, Meghan's parenting philosophy emphasizes experiential learning. Travel, exposure to diverse cultures, and engagement in meaningful community projects are all integral components of the family's approach. These experiences are designed to cultivate empathy, adaptability, and a broad understanding of the world, qualities that Meghan and Harry believe are essential for raising globally minded, resilient children. Unlike a strictly traditional royal upbringing, which might prioritize ceremony and legacy, the Sussexes focus on holistic development, emotional intelligence, and real-world awareness. This philosophy also extends to the children's social development. Harry and Meghan are intentional about the friendships and environments their children are exposed to, seeking settings where Archie and Lilibet can develop strong, supportive relationships. The couple recognizes that peer influence, social context, and emotional safety are as critical as formal education. By fostering a nurturing, balanced environment, they aim to equip their children with the tools to thrive, both personally and socially, in a complex, highly connected world. In essence, Meghan Markle's influence on the Sussexes' family life is profound. Her upbringing, career, and advocacy work all contribute to a parenting philosophy rooted in empathy, independence, and intentionality. Combined with Harry's own experiences and values, this philosophy manifests in deliberate choices, from education to security, from emotional development to cultural awareness, that prioritize the children's well-being above tradition, expectation, or public pressure. The couple's approach challenges conventional notions of royal parenting. By choosing paths that diverge from centuries of tradition, they are redefining what it means to raise children within a royal lineage in the 21st century. This approach reflects a commitment to both heritage and autonomy, balancing respect for the past with thoughtful, forward-looking decisions that serve the best interests of their family. In conclusion, Meghan Markle's life, values, and philosophy of parenting are integral to understanding the Sussexes' approach to raising Archie and Lilibet. Her emphasis on safety, emotional intelligence, autonomy, and global awareness shapes decisions at every level, including education, exposure, and family dynamics. By combining these values with Harry's experiences and insights, the couple is crafting a family environment that is protective, nurturing, and intentionally designed to prepare their